I never thought betrayal could sound so calm over the phone. "Hey, honey," my mother said, her voice coated in the kind of sweetness that always came before something sour. "We're selling your house." At first, I thought I'd misheard her. "My house?" I repeated. "The one I bought? The one I'm paying the mortgage on?" "Yes, that one," she said casually, as if she were telling me we'd run out of million. "Someone offered 1.25 million, cashed, no questions asked." I remember standing in the middle of the Denver airport, suitcase in hand, staring at the phone screen as her words sank in. The hum of people boarding flights faded into silence. My vision tunneled. I could taste iron, that bitter metallic taste of panic when adrenaline floods your system. "Mom," I said, my voice shaking, "you don't have the right to sell my house." Her silence was deliberate. And then she laughed, this soft, condescending laugh that made me want to scream. "Oh, Eliza," she said, "you left everything to me when you went abroad, power of attorney, remember? You trusted me to take care of things." I felt my knees weaken. She was right. When I got the offer to teach in London, I'd sign those papers so she could handle property taxes and mail. I trusted her. She was my mother. Now that trust was a loaded gun, and she'd just pulled the trigger. When I landed back in Colorado 2 days later, the house didn't feel like mine anymore. The curtains were gone. My grandmother's piano, gone. Even the rug I bought after my first paycheck, gone. Only the faint outline where furniture used to sit marked the betrayal that had unfolded. "Where are my things?" I demanded as she stood in the empty living room, arms crossed, sipping wine. "Sold," she said flatly. "You didn't need all that clutter." "Clutter?" I whispered. "You sold my life." She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. You should be thanking me. You'll have cash, no debt, freedom." "But I didn't agree to sell." "You signed the papers, Eliza," she said. "Legally, it's done." And that's when I saw it. The new diamond bracelet glinting on her wrist. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stared at her until something inside me went completely still. That stillness. That's what people mistake for forgiveness. But it's not. It's the beginning of revenge. For 3 weeks, I pretended to be okay. I smiled when she talked about her new opportunities. She said she was thinking of relocating somewhere warm. I said I understood. But every night, I sat in my car outside her house, scrolling through property records, tracing the money trail. The cash sale had gone through a shell company registered in Nevada. The owner, MLUE Holdings, LLC. M for Mary, E for Eliza. My mother had used my name in her fake company to make the deal look legitimate. She'd built her entire scam using my identity. I spent nights piecing everything together. Bank statements, wire transfers, real estate filings. Every breadcrumb led back to her. She'd drained my savings, closed my accounts, and funneled it all through that LLC. The woman who used to tuck me into bed had now stolen the roof from over my head. But what she didn't know was that I recorded every conversation, every call, every voicemail, including one where she bragged to her boyfriend. She'd so naive, Tony. I could sell her soul and she'd still thank me for it. That was the night I stopped being her daughter. I began working quietly, methodically. First, I called the buyer, a man named Andrew Chen, a property developer from San Francisco. He'd wired 25 million without inspection. When I told him my story, he laughed nervously. "Look, I bought it fair and square," he said. "If you have family issues, that's not my problem. Except," I said slowly, "you paid a fake company, not me. And once the IRS gets wind of that, they'll want to know why a developer sent over $1 million to a ghost LLC registered to a 70-year-old woman with gambling debt." The silence that followed was beautiful. Within a week, his lawyer contacted me, begging to settle. I didn't want money. I wanted leverage. Meanwhile, my mother's world started unraveling, quietly at first. Her credit cards froze. Her accounts were under review. She couldn't pay her bills. She called me crying. "Eliza, honey, the bank says there's been suspicious activity. I can't access my funds." "That's strange," I said. "Maybe you should talk to your accountant." "Don't be cruel," she snapped. "I did what I thought was best for both of us." You stole from me. I made you rich. You made me hate you. The day everything exploded, she showed up at my apartment, pale, desperate, mascara streaking down her cheeks. They froze everything, she said, slamming her purse on the table. They think I laundered money. Did you? I asked. Eliza, please, she sobbed. You don't understand. I was drowning. The casino debts, they were going to take the house. I just needed to sell it before they found out. I stared at her, my heart beat steady as a clock. You didn't sell it to save me, I said. You sold it to save yourself. She sank to the floor, sobbing, clutching at my knees. I'm your mother, she whispered. Not anymore, I said, standing up. Not after this. The revenge wasn't in what I said next. It was in what I'd already done. I had given the IRS everything. The recordings, the bank transfers, the shell company filings. And Andrew Chen's lawyer, in panic, had thrown her under the bus to protect his client. When they arrested her for fraud and identity theft, she looked right at me as they led her out in handcuffs. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt hollow, like justice was a room I'd been waiting to enter, only to find it empty. She mouthed one word as they took her away. Why? Because you taught me that love without respect is manipulation. Because you turned my trust into currency. Because you made me realize the only thing more powerful than betrayal is patience. A year later, I stood in front of the same house, my house, now fully restored to my name. The sun dipped low behind the Rockies, painting the windows gold. I could still hear her voice echoing in my mind. We're selling your house. No, I thought. You sold your soul. And I bought back my freedom. But here's the twist most people don't know. A few months after her sentencing, I received a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a key. And a note, for the storage unit on Blake Street. You'll find something that belongs to you. I went there the next morning. The smell of dust and metal filled the air as I unlocked the unit. Inside were boxes, dozens of them. My grandmother's piano sheet music, my childhood photos, my first painting from art school, everything I thought she'd sold, stacked neatly, untouched, and on top of one box, a small envelope with my name. Inside was a photo of me for $5 million, a check, 1-1, twere $5 million. The memo line read, "For your new beginning." I don't know where she got the money. Maybe she made a deal. Maybe she found guilt in her last breath of freedom. All I know is that she wanted to make it right, but too late, but still trying. I didn't cash the check. I framed it. It hangs in my living room now, next to a picture of the house she tried to take. A reminder that revenge doesn't always end with victory. Sometimes it ends with silence, reflection, and a scar that never fully heals. And a scar that never fully heals. I rebuilt my life from ashes, and every time I pass that house, I whisper under my breath. Some things money can buy, but peace is earned. And that's my story. A mother who sold her daughter's house. A daughter who took everything back and left her with nothing but conscience. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you loved, remember this. Revenge isn't about destruction. It's about restoration. Make them Wazoo rise from the ruins they built for you.